We are joined by Texas State Senator Charles Perry. Let's talk a little bit about, I guess, some of the big headline pieces of legislation, the bathroom bill, and school choice. And what's that?
Sanctuary cities.
Sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities is moving to the House.
Been heard in the House.
But they're going to change it a little bit.
They're gonna strip some things off. We'll go to conference. We need to have a discussion about that. You know, the governor, I think, is pretty dead set by public comments that he expects a tough bill. And
yeah,
you know, just this past day or two, we had a report out that the Travis County Sheriff let loose over 100 and some odd detainees into the community. You know,
why is it in Travis County it's wrong for me to smoke a cigar? But if I was a criminal illegal alien, I could be just set free. Why is that?
You know, I can't explain that. There's no logical comprehension to the method of madness. Not only on the sheriff level, but on many things that Travis County does here. So it's just the place we operate, not the place I'll ever live.
That's true. When you have this bill for sanctuary cities, and I think it's a good bill, and I'm pretty sure the governor thinks it's a good bill too. They're going to take a look at it in the House. Are there parts that you think need to be changed, watered down?
There was only one aspect of it that, through testimony, and it's always the concern in there, was the profiling aspect, which the bill prohibits, the bill doesn't encourage. But there was a few probably possible tweaks where you could shore up the fact that profiling can't occur. So that was the only thing that left the Senate. The civil liability, the sovereign immunity waiver, and the personal criminal liability were all things that I think are supported at the statewide level. And I don't know whether they hang on and stay in the House, but there's opportunities to do something with that when it comes out of the House. But honestly, it was a hard bill. It was a tough bill. It's meant to do exactly what it's going to do, and that's get the attention of local law officials that they don't get the choice. So I think it's a good process, and I would be shocked if most of those provisions aren't at some level put back in.
The bathroom bill, SB 6, Texas Privacy Act. Is it dead in the House, you think?
I don't know. I mean, I can tell you, arguably, it's a publicly supported, very high-polling piece of legislation. So depending on whether those voices are loud and active, whether or not that gets a chance in the House, it's pretty clearly indicated it's not going to be a consideration in the House, but I do think that if the public would engage that issue, that it possibly could be. It needs to be. This is a state issue now, according to President Trump. And involved in that with Title IX, UIL, school district liability, prohibition, and parental power, parental engagement, because a lot of these measures going around school districts were going to be implemented without parent knowledge. And if I had to say there was one truly valid argument that will come to fruition for school choice, is if parents believe that their kids are going to be forced into this social engineering, I would say at least in Senate District 28, if there's any viable option outside of it, they will take it because they're not going to stand for what that agenda looks like. Right, wrong, and different, nothing against the individuals involved in those discussions as far as lifestyle goes, but I don't think it's a policy that public school districts nor most of the people in Senate District 28 would support or needs to have brainwashed, into that philosophy.
You've gotten the governor's, I think, all of his priorities that's now passed the Senate. The lieutenant governor had a long list of priorities. What's next in the Senate? Because y'all are hopping. Y'all
School
are moving
vouchers, I'll be next week. We'll vote on the budget next week. So two big issues coming up next week. I think, it's still in process on both, but the budget came out of subcommittee hearings yesterday, appropriations on the Senate. And we just move faster in the Senate. We have rules that allow us to move very nimble, very quick, and very flexible. So the House doesn't have that scenario where their rules allow for those things to move. So it's not a House-Senate thing. It's not a competition. We just engage the bill process in the Senate a lot quicker, a lot easier, and a lot better. So I think that you'll see the budget come up for vote next week, and came out of committee, I believe, with no votes. It's a better budget. We got a little reprieve from Comptroller Hager last week on a $2.5 billion issue. There's some, quote, perceptions of smoke and mirrors. We have a constitutional dedication funding for roads and bridges to the tune of $5 billion for biennium, starting whenever we started. The start date was not basically said, you do it on this day. We have chose to exercise that start date in this biennium budget, which effectively gives us a $2.5 billion reprieve to get over some of the holes. Here's the problem, or here's the challenge I think going forward. This is not a short budget. This is not a decreasing budget. This is revenue at a $50 barrel price, which I think will be our baseline budget going forward for the next however many years until the Middle East blows up the oil field again. Even then, our technologies allow us to outpace demand in production. So I'm trying to prep people for this is not a lower budget than last session by virtue of something. It's just lower, but it'll go up. This is probably our economic reality. This will be our budget as to what it looks for. So we will have continued challenges, but it's been a hard pullback from a budget that we'll never see again. And people lost that message.
Right. When we come back, you can hang around for one more segment. When we come back here at the state capitol, we'll wrap up this half hour with Texas State Senator Charles Perry. Brought to you by H&H Trailer Sales, Cactus Theater, and Galatia Insurance. It's the Chad Hasty Show, live from the Capitol.